Hillsborough is a quiet town, a scenic town, and a town full of such community and vitality that it's no surprise Aaron Vandermark would choose to settle his restaurant and family at its center. But when you first turn off the interstate, you won't find the quaint town someone promised you. You'll see the sign pointing toward Hillsborough, but just beyond it is a McDonald's, nearby a Hardee's and a Pizza Hut. But once you reach the center of Churton Street, you will happen upon the local you're probably looking for. The restaurant names begin to sound unfamiliar, and people start moving by foot. It is here, amidst all this local, that you will find Panchuto. Aaron's restaurant deepens the meaning of a place that uses local food. After a mid-college decision to become a chef, he and his wife Amy moved to Hillsborough partly for the help of family members, like Aaron's mother and sister, whose help he knew he would need to start a restaurant of his own. He joins his phenomenal culinary skills and the wealth of this community into one of the best Italian restaurants in the state. He named it Panchuto, which is Italian for pot-bellied, and he doesn't try to use local ingredients. He has wed his restaurant to the nearby farms, and he only uses local ingredients. While most of the farms bring his large pre-ordered goods right to his door, come Saturday morning, you can always find him at one of the nearby farmers markets, stocking up on whatever the restaurant needs to get them through the weekend. And as he picks out some more arugula or another bouquet of wildflowers, he and his wife stop to let their friends and neighbors see their baby son, Henry, and catch up on life. Back in the kitchen, Aaron spends the first part of every workday prepping for dinner that night. Panchuto is open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner, and so 4 mornings a week you can find Aaron in the kitchen with one of his morning cooks mixing up garlic butter, braising the pork shoulder, and thawing the ice cream. His sister, who lives above the restaurant, is usually setting up out front or keeping the books back in the office. A quiet character, she is a vital part of what makes Panchuto run. By 5:30, the doors are open. If it's a weekday, the patrons are usually local, but on weekends, the out-of-town guests can hike that number up to 70 people a night. When Aaron chose to open such a high-end restaurant in such a tiny town, he knew it would often be slow, and he says it's his local customers that keep him going throughout the week. No matter what, it always feels like a small-town community restaurant, and perhaps this is what the folks like most about it. While the community at the restaurant may not be entirely representative of the town, it certainly represents a small community within itself, and those who come are loyal. About once a month, Aaron sends out an email advertising his next community dinner. Community dinner is an affair that features one of the locals connected to the food scene. Everyone eats at one long table where the food is served in large family-style dishes. It costs about $60 to $100 a head, but usually fills up a few hours after the email is sent out. The most recent of these featured the men starting Durham's new full-steam brewery. They are opening up a new brewery in downtown Durham where they will brew and sell Southern-style beer using distinctly Southern ingredients like sweet potatoes, persimmon, and rhubarb. They shared their beer and announced that they plan to open their doors this summer. As the guests milled about and met friends new and old, Full Steam passed around its unusual and very local beer. This is the perfect picture of Panchuto. Local food and local community served up well. The conversation was lively and the food quickly gone. Just this March, several well-known Hillsborough folk united to write a book called 27 Views of Hillsborough, a southern town in poetry and prose. In it, Aaron has a piece entitled Edible Hillsborough, in which he offers some quaint vignettes about the food that grows just around the block and all the wonderful ways to cook it. The book is a wonderful picture of Hillsborough, offering a view of the town written by a colorful mix of gender, race, religion, and age. Perhaps Panchuto isn't as comprehensively representative of the Hillsborough community, but it is certainly part of it. It shows the kind of smaller communities that inspire what is the greater community Hillsborough. It combines farms and plates, locals and those from down by the interstate, foodies, and just those looking for a romantic date night. And it all starts with that little sign in front of the glowing window that announces that Panchuto is open for dinner.